Cyber Spider back again with another live stream. Hope all of you are doing really well today. Doing pretty spiffy because, well, you're here, I'm here, we're all here. However, at the moment, nobody's actually in nobody's actually in the chat right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna forge ahead. Hopefully some peoples will be joining us shortly. I got some guests lined up, which I'm really excited about. Well, as per usual, some regulars and potentially somebody new to the channel. Oh, I see somebody's in here. Somebody's lurking. I see somebody. I don't know who they are yet. Let's see. Can I scroll up on the chat? Nobody yet. Oh, it's Trina. Hello, Trina. It's just you and me at the moment. And Kay, hi. Oh, wow. It went from like 1 to 38 in like seconds. Wow. You guys are so awesome. I mean, granted, there could be a delay. Hello, Amanda. Hi. Hope all of you are doing fabulous today. I'm 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 doing pretty good. I'm having sort of I wouldn't say I'm having a lazy day. Hello, Tank. Hi. I'm not having a lazy day. I'm just having sort of like a me day. Um, oh, thank you, Tank. Yes, you too can become a member. You can be suck weight yarn. I haven't introduced. We got 42. 42. It's my favorite number, and I'm sure that you guys know why. Um, uh, what was I saying? Yeah, I haven't introduced like a new membership tier yet. I might at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Right now, I just have the one membership tier, and that way you can be in the credits in my videos. It's my little way of saying thank you for your support. Um, Thank you, Tank. I am doing well. I need it. I need what? I need support? I need therapy? What? What do I need, Darth Mom? Oh, who did that? Lorene, thank you so much. Thank you. Much obliged. Thank you, thank you. Well, we all need support. Yes, yes, Darth Mom says, don't forget the thummies. You know, they're good for more than just hitting video game controllers. Hi, Vicky. Hope all of you are doing fabulous. Yeah, so I haven't been having like a completely lazy day. I got all of my work for tomorrow's tutorial already done last night, so I'm just my mind is free to enjoy my time with you guys. Time for myself. Yes, everybody needs time for themselves. That is quite true, Darth Mom. Well, I'm sort of having time for me, but I'm still working, so it's sort of like this weird juggling act that I do, because even though my work for tomorrow and that video is all done, thank you, Lorene, for the thummies. Yeah, my tutorial's already filmed. That's not a problem. I don't have to worry about that. I have to upload it, but that's easy. Hello, dreams. Um, but I am actually currently working on a new project that I'm very. Yes, hello, fully hooked games. I see you. Um, I am working on a new project. It's a Fillet project, and it's going to take some doing. It's a fairly big multiple, and it's a fairly big repeat. It's like, I think the multiple, it's like 20. No, correction. Sorry, the multiple is 40 stitches. And the repeat is, I think, like 30 something rows. Uh, oh, we got a person. Debbie, I'm sorry, Debbie just said, nice distraction being here. Tornado warnings all around here. I'm sorry, Debbie. Please be safe. Hello.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. I just rolled in from work.
Well, thank you for popping in. Did you have a nice day at work?
Oh yeah.
Okay, was that genuine or laden with sarcasm sauce?
Yes. A little bit of both. No, it was a good day.
That's
I was
fair.
busy. It went by
Hello,
fast.
Melanie. No, I'm sorry.
I
I
said
think
it
we have
was.
another person. Hang on.
Hello,
Hang on.
everyone. How's everybody doing?
No, no, my mistake. Okay. It was just that there's two people currently in. Um, I'm still learning the whole restream thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, speak. Matt?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
You're frozen.
No, no, you're frozen.
I don't see you moving. You're totally frozen. I'm not frozen. You're frozen.
No, you're frozen.
Oh, wait. Say
I'm not
something.
frozen. You're frozen. Something.
I think we're having technical difficulties. I'm not frozen. You frozen. It's one of those like, I'm not going to hang up. You hang up. No.
Exactly. That's not me. Am I on?
According to the chat, I'm frozen. According to
Exactly.
the chat, I'm frozen. That's interesting. Okay, now I see you moving, Matt.
Yeah, I've been moving ever since.
Okay. This is always fun. Am I still frozen?
No, you're moving around.
Okay. Doing my shimmy shake.
Exactly.
I apologize for any sort of technical glitches or difficulties. We had a couple the last time. Well, I mean, there was one that wasn't a technical difficulty or a glitch. It was just Matt being silly upside down in the car.
That was fun. That was cool.
That was that was
It
that
was
that was that was
unexpected.
good. That was cute. I give credit where credit is due. That was cute. Um, it's just sort of it was sort of like seeing the Ministry of Silly Walks for the first time. John Cleese, who's ordinarily like very, very serious, all of a sudden he's like doing this like very odd sort of duck walk across a busy street. You know,
When I did it, I was thinking of a Monty Python sketch actually,
see,
but
I rest my case.
not the one that you were thinking of.
What were you
I was
thinking
thinking
of? Like, say no more, say no more.
nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Or how about your mother
That's the
was a
one I was thinking
hamster?
of. That's the one I was thinking of when I did the upside down thing. I was
Your
like,
mother was a
nobody
hamster,
expects.
and your father smelled of elderberries.
Yes.
Yeah, I sort of grew up on Monty Python, and then many years later, I went to go see Spamalot in the theater. Um, Hello, Marianne. I did not care for Spamalot.
Oh, I remember going to see uh the search for the Holy Grail, the
No,
giving of
no, I'm
Life of
sorry, I have to
Brian.
correct you. It was just Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh,
It wasn't like Search for the Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that. No, it's just,
no, but
but
I
I
and
liked the Holy Grail. Um,
Life of
don't get me
Brian.
wrong, I like the Holy Grail, even though it was a bit. Oh, I love the Life of Brian, but Jabberwocky, ooh, Jabberwocky is probably one of my favorites. But no, the problem with Spamalot was they. Or is
He
he?
is.
Hang on. Oh,
What's going
hey!
on, Michael?
Good to see your smiling face. How are
Doing good,
you?
doing good. Just been busy.
Yeah,
Understood.
haven't seen you in a while. You've been
I
busy
know
as
that you're
well.
working on umpteen projects right now.
Yeah. Getting ready to start editing and everything for that thing, Ruby's Dream,
That's cool.
It's gorgeous.
and get that all ready to go. I've been going through pictures of my mom so I can put those into collages for everything. So,
Mm.
yeah, it's been a little emotional day going through all that.
Understandable, yeah.
But and Panda's out in the back, Tony's out in the back mowing. So
he's busy adulting, doing the manly man
yeah,
things.
right now. He's just about done.
It is a Matt sandwich. Yes, Tank says we have a
Yeah,
Matt
right.
sandwich. Well, I like anything bready, so actually, last night and the night before, I tried a new pizza dough recipe. Is so good. So good. Love making my own pizza. It's so gratifying too. And considering, everything is going up in price,
I know. I'm probably gonna have to
it's
start
so
eating
much cheaper.
ramen.
There are worse
there
things than
are.
ramen. Ramen's good, but you got to tweak it. You got to doctor it with other things. You can't just have like the brick of noodles and the little season packet. No, you got to add some
Yeah.
stuff in there.
But
Jazz it
still, it's
up.
going to be one of those things that's everything's going to be so expensive. We're just going to have to start eating ramen to live off of.
I mean, my coworker, she was saying that she got, like I think a slice of like a specialty pie was like $6.
Oh, really?
Just for a slice of a specialty pie. I mean, ah, ah, you know. I mean, granted, I like a plain slice, it shouldn't be that much, but I think do any of you guys know what garlic nuts are? I think that they were like $1 or $1.50 each.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's dough. It's dough and it's seasoned. It's
Yeah.
dough.
I know.
It's got like minced garlic, but it's
I know.
dough.
When we go to the taco truck, it's now pretty close to $3 a taco.
Depends on the taco,
Taco Paco?
It depends on the taco. I mean, well, Taco Bell used to be great for
That's American food.
Well, I mean, no, I know. Taco Bell is not really food in the, academic sense. But Taco Bell used to be great. It's like, you would just like go scrounging through your couch cushions for change and you could buy dinner that night. Now it's crazy sauce, because it's like I like to get it's like 2 chalupas and a soft taco and a beef burrito, and it comes with a drink, and it's like 20 something dollars.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And well, and, like you go even just go get a pound of hamburger meat.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's ridiculous that you're paying $8 for 1 pound of hamburger meat. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to. I like, what is it, 95% or higher. I'm not going to buy, the 70/30. I can't do it.
I mean, most of that's gonna burn
Yeah,
off
but
anyway.
still, no, I can't. My stomach can't
Yeah.
handle it because ever since I've had my gallbladder out, anything that has any amount of fat, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Then I'm paying for it.
You wouldn't survive in my
She
kitchen.
had her gallbladder out, and if we go like to like a steak dinner or something, yeah, she has to take her like enzyme pills.
Yeah, like I'm
Mm.
yesterday for dinner, I cooked some steaks and kind of splurged, and I got maybe halfway done with my steak, and I couldn't do it no more because it was messing my stomach up, both ways. So I was like, yeah, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
So is Mount Vesuvius and Mount Etna
Yes,
at once?
Ooh.
It was tag
it
team.
messes me up,
Mm.
so I'm like, well, I'm a picky, well, I'm not a picky, I just can't eat a lot, especially the fatty stuff, because it's just as much as I would love a cheeseburger that is, oh my gosh, but I can't do it.
What? if you can't handle fat, like my kitchen would probably kill you. Like one of my favorite things to do is I'll make like a grilled cheese sandwich, but instead of using butter, I'll use bacon fat to smear on the bread to get that toasting. And I'll do it open face. So I'll get like the 2 slices of bread with bacon fat smeared on there, 2 slices of cheese per slice of bread, and then I make up some bacon, and then I put that in there, and it's an aneurysm on a plate,
See, I miss those type of meals.
you know? I'm sure that my arteries are screaming at me on a weekly basis, but, eh, you know, I kinda made up for it though, because I made, like, a really good dish. I told you about it. It was the pasta is it ceci or is it cecchi?
It's Chechi. It's the
Ceci.
chickpeas.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's pasta and chickpeas, and it's a one-pot meal, so it is super duper easy,
Hey Matt, is there a way? People are asking, is
you
there a
know?
way for you to turn up your mic volume?
Am I turned up now?
You're pretty low.
Hang on, let me look at the.
I mean, we know you're soft-spoken, and that's nice, but
Oh, I'm usually not. I'm usually loud and.
We know you're loud and proud.
How is it now?
Keep talking. Grimacing is not quite a speaking, but
It's
actually,
grumbling.
well, okay. It's funny though. I had a similar sort of interaction just last night, actually. I always do the closing announcements at work, telling people, we've got 15 minutes till close. Please bring your stuff that you want to check out. Which it's a nice way of saying get
Yes.
out. Because it's like, we're there and we want to go home too. And so I do a 15-minute, a 10-minute, a 5-minute, and then there's the final one saying, yes, we'll see you tomorrow. And for the most part, people think I do an okay job, but I have this one person that likes to give me a hard time, and he thinks he's being funny, but I don't think he's being funny. And so in his snarky manner, pardon?
Snarky manner? How's that?
Your volume just
You're
went
good.
way up.
I'm just blowing,
No, that's fine.
just blowing you guys
You're
out.
You're fine. So in his snarky, smug manner, he asked me if I had missed my public speaking classes. Like I need to project more or something. So in turn, I met his punch with my own punch. So after him saying, "Oh, did you miss public speaking classes?" And so I said to him, "Did you miss," Michael, you might want to say. So I said to him, "Did you miss sign language classes?"
Oh my gosh.
It's like, you want to hit me, I'll hit back,
Right.
So, it's like generally, I'm not vulgar, but it's just sort of like, okay, I will match your energy if you want to play that route. I will match your energy.
Hey, some people you just have to match, It's
That's all they understand.
yeah.
Mm.
And
Play
and I mean, we have
play nice back.
Well, we have very, very differing viewpoints on a lot of things. And years ago, when we would occasionally work together, it was, this sort of playful banter. And then over the past couple of years, it hasn't become as playful. And so thank you, Ada. It seems more like, instead of like a poke in the ribs, it seems more like a noogie.
yeah.
For those of you that do not know what a noogie is, it's when you hold one of your knuckles up and then you get somebody on the top of the head, and you like really go
Yes,
into their
that's why,
scalp with one of your knuckles, and
that's
it
why there's no hair.
hurts. It hurts. It's right up there with a wedgie. A little less invasive, but unfortunately, I'm only too familiar with these things. I have an older brother, so it's a by
Yeah, I have
proxy kind of thing.
2 older brothers, so yeah, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
And then we also had the ever popular Indian rope burn is what they would call them, where you would grab somebody's forearm and you
Yeah.
would twist back and forth, back and forth. I mean that's what they used to call them. All sorts of fun
Or
little
when they take your arm hair and went like
torture
this,
things.
and your arm hair all became knots.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new one to me. But then again, I mean, I really don't have much to speak of.
Yeah. They used to do that to me all the time.
Michael, Barbara wants to know, what are you currently
Right now,
working on?
I'm just keeping my hands busy. It's a prototype, which is totally changed. It's a market bag. It's just to keep my hands busy.
Ooh.
Because I haven't really gotten to crochet anything in the past few days, so I'm just trying to get a little bit done so that way, because after I can only be here for about an hour and then I got to get back to work. I got to scan all these pictures of my mom and then get the premiere ready to go. And for Ruby's Dream, that's going to be coming out Sunday. And the written
looking
pattern,
forward
I've
to
been
it.
busy all week doing the written pattern in Illustrator. And it's got the word, it's got the actual written aspect, and then it also has the diagram to go with it too. So you're getting 2 for 1 on that. And then yesterday was
Busy,
pretty
busy, busy.
anxiety was kind of really through the roof yesterday.
What happened?
What didn't happen? My
I don't know. You
numbers?
haven't told me. Oh, well, yeah, but that's a good thing.
It dropped. My anxiety went through the roof as soon as that turned over, and I'm like, oh, but Jesus.
Would you care to tell the rest of the class or not?
Sure. I hit 100K. I hit 100K
I don't want
yesterday.
to. I don't want to pressure you, but
Congratulations!
everybody, give the hoot hoot and holla holla.
So,
congratulations. Well, I didn't want to spoil it if you were planning on, doing something. I respect.
I didn't really tell too many people when it happened. Next thing I know, I'm getting flooded with messages. I was like, okay. So, well, you can hear the music, huh? But it was my anxiety was getting the best of me yesterday.
But it's a good thing, though. It's a really good
Now
thing.
I'm just waiting for YouTube to be able to sit there and let me hit the other stuff to be able to get the other stuff that goes along with it.
You mean like the silver button
and the check mark, and because I guess it takes a couple of days after you hit that mark for it to register. So I'm just.
Well, I mean, I don't even do I have a check mark?
You don't have a check mark, but I don't understand why you don't.
Is that to verify that I am who I say I am, or is that is that sort of like an X thing / Twitter thing? I don't even know.
It's the verification just to prove that you are who you are.
Okay, well, I'm me. Like it or lump it.
You get a little special little check mark, and then when you type in chats, your name's kind of highlighted. And I believe it opens up some testing stuff that they're wanting to test to roll out eventually.
I mean, I remember when like YouTube Shorts was growing in popularity, they're like, "Oh, you should totally do this." And I would get constant
Mhm.
emails and such like, do this. And I'm like, I don't sit at the cool kids' lunch table. I'm not interested in joining in on all of the fads and the doodads. I'll just keep doing
Yeah.
what I do, you know. Um, even if it's not necessarily in my best interest, I just keep doing what I do. I like to go at my own pace. I like to produce the kind of content that I like to produce, and
Yeah.
if everything is if all is right with the world, then I'll be fine.
That's just what I'm doing. It's like I'm going at my own because I was going pretty rigorously into doing content constantly, and it just got to where it was becoming very stressful and putting more stress
Yep.
on my heart. And I was like, and which affects the anxiety and all that everything else. I'm like, no, Michael, when you get it done is when you get it done.
Mm.
Don't be trying to get a blanket done in a week when it normally would take 3 weeks. So that's what I'm doing is just getting it done when I get done. My stitch tutorials, I'm this week I didn't do one because I been trying to get that stuff done, and
Well, you're
I wanted to
busy.
come out on a certain date. But you know, just whenever I get it done, I get it done. Is the way I'm looking at things now,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
No, I believe you me. I totally understand. Wait, who's that? Matt, thank you. Thank you, Matt. No, I totally understand because at one point early on, I was producing like 5 or 6
Mm-hmm.
videos a week, and I was fried. I was thoroughly fried, and I was like, "You know what? I'm not doing myself any favors, and I'm not doing my viewers any favors." Um, Thank you, SL
Yeah, I was gonna
Smith.
say SL
Yeah,
Smith.
gimmicks,
Thank you,
That's a
thank you.
nice comment.
gimmicks, schmimics, no gimmicks. No, this is 100%, organic fiber.
Exactly. Well, and it's you know Fiber Yarn Designs, Joanne.
Oh,
Wow,
Wow.
wow, burn
thank you.
fibers. Thank you so much, Joan.
Um,
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to do the chats bi-weekly. Is bi-weekly every other week, or is
That's
that
every
twice
twice
a
a week.
week?
You're doing
absolute.
bi-monthly.
Yeah,
Bi-monthly, okay. Or semi semi-monthly, like it's not a semi-annual. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you, Tank. Thank you. You guys are the best.
They really are.
I'm sorry, you were saying, Michael?
I lost track. Well, 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 it's
Well, we were talking about gimmicks, no
well that
gimmicks.
it's like there is so much pressure already on us as tutorialists to make things perfect, to make things right, and to make something new. So there's already that
Yeah.
pressure, and then to sit there and constantly do that, so that pressure just keeps compounding and stress, and we don't want to get burnt out.
mm-mm.
I'm far from being burnt out. I just needed to relieve stress, which that meant, you know, uh, spacing out more, just getting it done when I get it done instead of staying up. Granted, I don't sleep a lot anyway, but Vicky donated five or yeah, gifted 5
Membership.
Wow.
memberships.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, thank you. Much obliged. Yeah, it is very, very easy to get yourself burnt out.
And
I have
yeah,
been, in the time that I've been on here, I have gotten burnt out bad. I forced myself to keep going. It's like I don't want to eat more spinach,
well,
you know.
and it shows
Um,
when somebody's burnt out, it really does show in the product that's coming out, because you get sloppy with the editing, and it looks like a piece of poop. And there was
Yeah,
one
dude.
tutorial that I did do that did end up looking like a piece of poop, and I never put it out. I didn't even refilm it because it was like, you know what, Michael? This is your example. This is your cue to take your time now. Don't rush anything. Everything will come, and obviously everything is coming, but when you get it done is when you get it done.
No, I totally hear you. I mean, like, as also prioritizing what you're going to post and so forth. Like, because I had a very distinct feeling that yes, I was going to do a live stream tonight. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll skip my usual Thursday video as opposed to trying to do a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and my Saturday. I'm like, you know what? I'll do Tuesday and Friday and Saturday. Thursday can take a day
Yeah,
off.
and sometimes you got to reach that compromise with yourself because otherwise you're just going to burn yourself out. And
It's the perfect word for it,
you know, like
compromising.
my lives now, I had quit going scheduled because seeing the scheduled lives mess with my anxiety. But I just go live now, you know, whenever I have the time to hit the live button, go live, chit chat for a little bit, answer questions, do what I need to do, and move. And then you know, touch base because there's people that love tutorials and then there's people that love lives. There's people who like both. And like you're doing is you're catering to both of those demographics, and people
Trying
get to
to.
ask questions and you can give them real-time answers. And you know, some of my lives, yes, some of them are at 4 o'clock in the morning my time, but I am reaching a lot of people that are in Europe during that time or down in Australia. So you know, and
It's the Paco Taco.
so you just got to compromise with yourself, which at times you don't want to compromise, but you have to.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we talked about this before that we are our own worst critics. We are our own worst enemies. We are also our own biggest cheerleaders. I mean, we have a lot of faces of
Yeah.
Eve going on. We really do. I mean, also we are our own bosses. Because like we tell ourselves, it's like, okay, no, you gotta do X, Y, and Z. You don't get a day off, kind of
Exactly.
thing.
And then if you decide to take a day off, then
And
the next day you're kicking yourself in the rear end because now you're playing double catch up.
Yep.
Actually, that reminds me. Well, I've been reading. This. This is Roald Dahl's The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and six more. And so, for those of you that are familiar with Roald Dahl, he writes like the best children's stories. This one, however, is not for kids. There are some like fanciful elements to it, but they're very much more for adults that can appreciate the fanciful. And right now, in the back, towards the back of the book, I am reading. It's a story called Lucky Break, or How I Became a Writer. And so he has several qualities that you should possess or try to acquire if you wish to become a fiction writer. And rule number 5 is you must have strong self-discipline. You are working alone. No one is employing you. No one is around to fire you if you don't turn up for work or tick you off if you start slacking. And that applies to us as well. So Roald Dahl, he knows what he's talking about when you are, your own boss, so to speak. It's like you have to light the fire under your own bum, whether you like it or not.
You know, there's just days you wake up and you're just like, I know I need to film this, but can I put it off for one more day? Or you're literally dreading filming it until you start the camera, and then everything just changes. Like as soon as that camera comes on and you're starting your tutorial, like you got all the energy in the world. Now you want to do this, and then you want to do more, and then you just realize you can't do it all. And like my biggest supporter and the person who really, really constantly brings me back down to earth, because I come up with some outlandish ideas that I want to do. And Panda is the one who says, Michael, step back. Do you really think you can pull that off? Yes. Do you think you should? Do you
Well, it's like
do you have
Jurassic
time?
Park. Jurassic Park. They spent all this time worrying about whether or not they could. They never stopped to think about whether or not they should.
You know,
It's Jurassic Park
he'll
all
bring me
over
back down
again.
to earth, and then he's like, all right, you're already putting a lot on your plate. Maybe not this year. Set it for next year. And does it really need to be that complicated? Can we tone it down? Things like everything, you name it. And he brings me back down to earth, because I get so, you know it, when you get in that creative mind space, anything and everything is possible. If we want to crochet with the stars, we're going to figure out how to crochet with the stars. But,
And gossamer moonbeams.
but he sits there and brings me back down to earth and gives me the wake up call that I do need.
No, I get it. Trust me. I totally get it. I wish I didn't, but I do. I mean, that's why I had mentioned before that I'm working on a rather intense fillet project, and you both of you, you'll see, like once I get things where they need to be, you guys will be getting the pattern. You know, but yeah, it's like the multiple is like 40 stitches, and the repeat, it's like 30 something rows, but obviously you can make it as wide or as narrow as you want to within the multiples, and you can do as many repeats as you want. That's not a problem. But it's like, yeah, it's not like, oh, we've got a 4-row repeat with a multiple of 6. No, it's going to take a while. Because that's the thing about fillet work, is that the more detailed it is, the bigger it needs to be. Otherwise, you lose the
Exactly.
detail, because it's a
Well, and
dot
it's just like
matrix.
with this. Yes, there's a repeat of the diamond pattern, but in order to get what I'm trying to get across, we needed that repeat. Otherwise, it gets lost in translation. And this is all lace.
Exactly.
This
It
is
becomes
lace
static.
Tunisian work at that. And so I haven't messed with fillet in a long time. I have a few things that I want to do in fillet. But I could only imagine it's the exact same thing. The fillet's got to be like, they got to lay. Who cares? Even if you place them right, they still have to lay right, because sometimes that yarn just does not want to go where you want it to go. You wanting that yarn over and gap. Well, the yarn is still saying, okay, I'm yarned over and gap, but I ain't laying here.
Hi, Jennifer. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, the thing I like about it is that basically it's a binary. It's a binary matrix of, open and closed boxes, and you can do so much with it. Like you can do essentially any picture, but the thing is, the more details in the picture, the bigger it has to be. Otherwise, it becomes
Yes.
static. Yeah. And a lot of people, they want a quick fix, and I get that. We have basically been conditioned as a society for the instant
Yeah.
gratification. Hence, doom scrolling and YouTube shorts and things that require zero attention span. I get that. I lose hours, almost daily to YouTube shorts. I'll be the first to admit it. I am terrible, but
YouTube shorts or Facebook reels, I can get lost in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the thing is that, there are some projects that are great for that quick fix, but sometimes if you want, an heirloom piece, a showstopper, something that is not for a night at the movies, it's for a night at the opera. Like if you want something special, like you got to put in the extra work. It's just how it is. So wanted to give you guys a sneak peek actually for tomorrow, because the other week it was a fillet piece, again, fillet. but it was done in rows, back, forth, to create like a square or a rectangle shaped blanket or such. But I got a lot of comments that were like, what about a shawl? And I get that a
Yeah.
lot, like I'll do something in one format and then I get requests to do the same sort of thing, but in a different format. So I decided I'm going to try to oblige. So I'm just going to blow myself up for just
No,
a
you're fine.
minute. No, wrong thingy. I'm trying to blow myself up. Maximize. There we go. So this is a shawl version of the zigzag chevron fillet. And so it starts from the bottom and it works its way up, and you can do as many repeats as you want. It's an 8-row repeat, and it's really simple. And I covered all the ins, the outs, and so forth, and it's all filmed and ready to go for tomorrow. And so let me minimize myself. There we go. I'm in the sandwich now. I'm no longer the bread. So it's really easy. Like once you get into the groove of it, it's just an 8-row repeat. But the other one, it was only a 4-row repeat because you didn't have to accommodate for the constant increasing at the edges. So it was easy in that regard. But sometimes, yeah, you got to put in the work.
Oh, exactly.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, that one's really pretty. I once you showed it, I've got some yarn that would be good in that one. So I'm gonna.
The only thing that I would say though is, I mean, as tempting as it is to do like a really fun colorway, keep in mind that because you're working from the bottom up, it's going to have horizontal stripes if you're doing any sort of a color change, which could clash with the chevron of the eyelets.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things too. Is like for us that a lot of people don't understand too. Is we pull everything together. Just like this, I didn't want the border to stand out and take away, but I wanted the border to accentuate what was there. We do a lot of thinking on things, and sometimes we overthink.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. And because like I remember I used to use quick changing variegated colorways a lot because I thought they were really pretty, and they are really pretty. But I've said this so many times, so forgive me if you've heard this from me before. The more complicated a pattern or a stitch is, the less complicated you want your yarn to be as far as the color. The plainer the stitch, the more complicated the yarn. The more complicated the yarn, the simpler the stitch.
And then it goes even more because what yarn is going to accentuate the stitch you want to accentuate? What yarn is going to hide it? And it's like,
yeah. And I'm by no means throwing Panda under the bus here. I love Panda. He's awesome. He's my chat husband. And because he was showing me photos of a piece that he was working on, and he got some like really beautiful stitch work going on, but it was getting lost in a very busy variegated colorway. So I was trying to encourage him, go with a solid, because you don't want to lose all the beautiful work that you're doing in the stitching. My Knit Saloon wants to see if she can.
Okay. I wasn't going to because
it's up to you. It's up to you.
Sunday, but I'll give a sneak peek. Just special to Greg's channel.
That's the spirit. So I was trying to encourage him to like go for solids because you're doing such beautiful work, but it's getting lost in the very constant shifting of the colors. And then he tried it, and it looks even better. All right, I'm gonna blow you up.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't do that. Hang on. Wait. No, I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to get out of.
Click on.
Okay, wait. I messed something up because now it's completely full screen on my phone. I can't see the chat anymore. How do I get out of this? No. Wait. Oh no. I'm sorry. No, because I can't see anything else other than our 3
Oh, okay.
screens.
I have no idea. Haven't
but
used Restream ever before.
now I'm shifting things around like a crazy person. Oh no. Back arrow? Because I'm
no,
on my
you're fine.
phone.
You're
I don't
fine.
know.
I'll get it close to the screen. This is Ruby's Dream. It's a wrap in honor of my
Sorry.
mom for Dementia Awareness Month.
Nope.
You're fine. I've done
Sorry.
it in a
I'm not trying
diamond
to
lace pattern. There's
It's gorgeous.
This is one section, and then we go into a nice long little repeat. Where's your lighter? A nice long repeat of it, and then we go to the middle, which is another nice diamond little pattern that I came up with. And then we just repeat it again, and it's
That is
got
so
the
pretty.
Tunisian picot. Where's the camera? There it is. Picot border on it. So, and that'll be coming out
It's
Sunday.
so pretty. And the color is perfect. All right, I'm going to experiment. All right, if I hit the back arrow. It worked. Okay. I'm sorry. My apologies. You know, because all that time I couldn't see anything in the chat and so forth. I'm sorry. I'm learning stuff, but no, seriously, that is so gorgeous. Actually, okay,
really
wait.
Thank you. Oh,
okay,
there we
it's all
go.
you, babe. It's all you. Yes, you deserve the screen.
So yes, it's I don't even remember the measurements. I have it written down somewhere on my desk, but it's covered up by pictures right now. But it is a wrap. Look at that. That's the design. Both beginning and end with the same thing, and then we go into the nice. There we go.
Wow,
And
that's
then we have the
really,
middle,
really pretty.
which I really like the middle. I guess you call it, like, I'm calling it the spine, because
Okay.
it's different than the rest. It has a nice little texture. It's still diamonds. And then we go back into the repeat again and end with the exact same thing, and then the picot border all the way around. And I went with the picot border because I didn't want it to detract from the actual pattern itself.
Exactly.
And it's done in purples because dementia awareness, Alzheimer awareness is purple. And I named it after my mom. It's Ruby's Dream, and she passed away due to complications of dementia last year. So, and I chose diamonds because, well, my mother was my diamond. She was my shining rock and hardest rock I knew.
Your gem. Your gem.
Yes.
Your precious stone. No, it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it.
And it's all Tunisian lace.
You know, and well, I mean, I've done a little bit, but nothing like that, and I think it's phenomenal. So everybody go and check out his tutorial.
It'll come
head
out
over to Michael's
Sunday.
channel.
I filmed a little bit of a premiere, and I filmed some stuff, and I want to do a little thing to help to honor my mom. Then as soon as the premiere ends, the tutorial will go live, and for the entire month of June, the written pattern minus Etsy store fees will, whatever the proceeds from the written pattern, will go to Dementia Society of America.
That's very cool. That's awesome.
Love it.
So that's the plan with it, and it's all going to come. It's all going to come out on Sunday.
Show your support. That's great.
So that's why I've been emotional and
Mr. Matt?
Finding old pictures like
Well,
that.
I mean, that's understandable.
So
no, it's totally understandable. I just, like, when you go quiet, I'm like, he's either busy working or something else, and I'm just sort of like, hello. I worry.
I understand.
I am a natural born worrywart. But yeah, it's a gorgeous piece, and I for one can't wait to see it. In its video format and everything. But I totally understand about like wanting to get stuff done on deadlines and so forth. Because the piece that I've been going on and on about is I'm not planning on releasing it until like the
Yeah.
fall. That's why I'm trying to get started on it now, because it is going to be an industrious
yeah.
project, and I don't like to throw patterns at testers and be like, okay, next week. Like, no, I have to be a little bit more realistic on
Right.
my expectations. So that's why I'm trying to give plenty of time.
Well, like,
You know,
I just got a bunch of yarn in today, and because I'm going to make a few summer stuff. But that's hard. People don't realize that's also hard to do in Tunisian, because Tunisian by nature is thick. So it's like, I've got to create
yep.
lacy stitches, but a lot of these lacy stitches do not want to work together.
Do you ever do crow hook stuff?
No.
I'm just asking.
No.
Don't hurt me.
Well, technically, crow hooking is Tunisian crochet in the round.
No, because when you said market bag, I was thinking, well, that could be done in the round, or it could be done
I am
flat and
doing it in
seamed.
the round.
So you're not crow hooking it?
I've got 2 needles. Boom and boom. But
So that is a crow
it's a
hook,
Tunisian
though.
crochet hook in the round. We go technical.
That's a crow
we go
hook.
technical on my channel.
That-
I'm just kidding.
But okay, if it's a double-ended hook, then it's a crow hook, isn't
It
it?
depends. The crow hooks, yes, here's the difference. Crow hooks are only
Ooh, I'm gonna
one
get
size.
schooled.
They'll have like, let's say, a 7 and a 6.5 on one hook. They're not the same sizes on each side.
Okay.
If they're the same sizes, they're double-ended Tunisian crochet hooks.
Okay, because I mean, I've seen both where it's like it's 2 different sizes. I've seen where it's the same size. I thought that they had the same name. So yes, everybody, we learn new things.
One of my sets that I have has a special adapter where I can actually connect 2 hooks together, 2 of my Tunisian cabled hooks. So that's what I did.
That looks like a medieval torture
Well,
device.
Well, it's the metal ones. The wooden double-ended hook.
Because it looks like something that an Egyptian would use for embalming.
The crow hooks, I don't know, you could see the hook is facing one certain way here on one side, right? And then the Tunisian hook, well, the hook is going to be the opposite way. So you can pull up your loops and discharge at the same time.
Right.
Whereas crow hook, they should be on the same side.
Gotcha. See, you learn something new every day. So, Mr. Matt, what are you working on? I hear you fiddling around over there. What you working on?
I'm working on a blanket.
Oh, I saw the picture of that.
Ooh,
What was it, Michi's?
very festive.
Or I saw it? Or did you use that as a thumbnail for one of your lives?
No,
Or did you post it in Michi?
I posted it in Michi.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Because the thumbnail, the one for the live, is a Mexican blanket that Rebecca made. There's a blanket. There's a blanket with the stripes.
Yeah, Michael, what does your shirt say?
I do not like oh my gosh, morning people or mornings
People?
or people.
I need that. I need that. I very much need that shirt.
I'm not such a like
Hi,
I
Mad
can
Mimi.
people on YouTube, great, but when it comes out to the public, I don't people.
I get it.
I just know.
Believe me, I totally get it. I mean, this right here is the most social that I am outside of having to
Mhm.
work. You know, this is my social, outlet, venue, what do you want to
Yeah,
call it? Because like when I'm at work, I don't really think that that counts per
because you
se.
have to be there.
Um, yeah. But like otherwise, like when I'm just when I'm off the clock and I'm just here, I'll text, but that's
That's
the
the
extent
extent of
of
it.
it.
Trust me. And I voice to text most of the time because I'm usually just crocheting away, and so I'll voice the text, and that's as most vocal I'll get, unless it's just chatting with Tony. And it's just I'm like
Hey,
I
fuzzy
consider it
butt.
interaction, or
Well, I call it being sociable. It's like, yes, I was sociable today. It's like I texted. I didn't really.
yeah, right.
It
And if
depends on how you look at it.
most of the time, most of the days, it's usually with you and Infinitely Zero Nessa. That's who I chat with throughout the day. If Mikey pops in and chats, or somebody else
Somebody
pops in
else.
chats, I'm like, oh my god, it's too busy.
No, trust me,
I
I
gotta cut
get
one of
it.
you down for right now.
Oh, Gary from Urban Yarn, he says that he's on his way home, and so he might be joining us soon, because like there's the time difference and
Yeah,
everything
because
like that, and so I believe he was at
he's more
work.
West Coast
But
than
that would be, well,
West Coast.
northwest coast, north. Um,
Like Gary and
so
Chris
yes,
in the
we might
same
be having
time
Gary
zone.
on. Um, I'm the only oddball around here. Quiet in the peanut gallery.
Well, me and you have pretty much the same sleep schedule, because when I go on at 4 a.m.,
Well,
you've been in
in
my,
spite of right, I mean, in spite of being on the other side of the country, we have the same sleep schedule regardless.
Well, Panda's the
You
oddball
know,
and goes to bed at normal hours. Well, it's considered normal
well,
hours to us.
Panda, right? Well, Panda, like I said, he's definitely the chat husband around here because, like, he's like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Hope you having a good day. He's such a
Yes.
sweetheart. He
I
really is.
mean, yeah.
And I haven't. All right, I've been trying not to nag, but I've been trying to encourage him to post more videos on his gaming channel. Like, because I know he's been doing his live streams um, every Saturday evening, and I think it's fabulous that he's been sticking to it consistently. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
But like any addict, we want more. And
Uh,
so if he could do, like a couple of recorded videos in addition to that per week, I mean, that would just be the bee's
Let me
knees if he
answer
can do that.
Rob's question. Rob, I'm actually almost finished with your blanket. I just gotta we or whatever, braid the Tunisian Jacob's ladders and finish it off, which I had to, like I said, I had to put it on back burner so I could get Ruby's dream done, and it's about to come off back burner Monday, so I can start working and get it finished. It's almost done. Literally, I have 3 rows and the border to do. So, and then we'll get it in the Melodia. It's from a giveaway that Michi's Crochet Nook was doing for her celebration, and I donated a throw. Just that, hey, the only catch to it was at times it's going to have to be put on the back burner so I can get other stuff done too. And man, did I not think that through? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I did it, but thinking it through, I would probably just bust it out instead of just putting back and forth, or do one that's already. Oh, awesome, Lala. Or to wait till I get one finished and then donate it for tutorial.
Hey, Mike,
I totally get it.
SL Smith,
I was just gonna. I
I
just thought I was gonna ask you.
I really don't know because I don't know the links on the variegation part of it or the ombre. So I had
How do? How do?
well, I didn't
Hi.
Hello.
expect to see that face.
What's up, yo?
So,
Hi, hi.
Hello.
There's my handsome husband.
Hello.
But I
Hello.
don't know the variegation on the color changes. That's the hard thing too with Tunisian is it's all the variegation um links because that return pass really messes up trying to color control. But he's here. I have to get back to work. I want to thank you for inviting me up.
Okay. Well, of course, you know that you're always welcome here, and I want to thank you for taking time out from your hectic schedule to join us. Thank you
yes,
so
thank you.
much. And everybody in the chat right now, check out Michael's channel. I'm going to put a link to that in the description box
Aw.
down below after the live is over. Of course. Of course. And so, yes, check out Michael's channel if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and show the love. And also, when the pattern is up for sale on Etsy, show your support and buy
Yes,
one.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you all for being
Yes,
here
of
for
course.
our great friend Craig.
Oh.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye, Matt. I'll see
Yo,
you in
King
just a minute.
Spider.
I mean,
Bye, dude.
Oh, there we go. Y'all have a good day.
Bye. How did the yard work
It
go?
sucked. I'm glad I'm done.
Well, just as long as you didn't hit any patches of poison ivy or bees'
Or
nests.
rocks.
That too.
Thank you.
Are you putting in a request for
No.
Kool-Aid?
Or something a
Yeah,
little stronger.
yes. I was trying to be subtle. I was
Some
trying to be
Kool-Aid?
subtle.
Uh,
Subtlety is not working.
you have to consider it's like, no, we're very perceptive folks around here. Yes, Kool-Aid with a brownie on
You
the
don't know my
side.
life. You don't know where I've been. Oh, no, I hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I hurt. Ugh.
Oh, well, you're a brave trooper. We appreciate you stopping in.
Grr. I'm good at yard work and stuff.
Doing the manly man adulting
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't like it. Do not recommend.
Well, you know what I have to do though? I have to go back to your last live stream and I have to watch the replay so that I'm prepared for
Oh, you didn't
tomorrow.
miss much. I was kind of lost as to what to do, so I got to do a little research again. So
That's
I did get
okay.
into a firefight though. I did say screw it and decided to just have a shootout, which I realized I'm absolutely horrible at. So there's that.
Well, the reticle is like tiny and it's just like this tiny, tiny little dot in the middle of the screen. So aim and accuracy, the game is not
Okay, well now I don't
great
feel
with,
as
in my
bad.
opinion.
I mean,
Well, no, that was the thing that I absolutely sucked at that game was, actually fighting with, gunfire in the game. For those of you that don't know, Panda's doing a playthrough of Alien Isolation on his channel, PandaMoniumExpress, and it's an absolute hoot.
Channel,
It really, really
channel,
is. See, Darth says that you did better.
yeah, I didn't die as much.
Well, there you go. That's an
Yeah.
improvement. But it's an absolutely hysterical blast watching you play our scared little panda potato minion, our little tater tot of
Yes,
terrors.
I love it.
But seriously, the maps in that game, you need them, but they're really not
No,
helpful either
I literally,
because they don't tell you. Well, they don't tell you like the elevation, like what
yeah,
floor.
yeah.
they're just like, go in that direction, but they don't necessarily tell you what the
Mhm.
topography is on the
Yeah.
map. So I
Yeah,
get it.
I think I spent the whole hour just running in circles trying to figure out what to do. Oh, we made a boyfriend, little robot boyfriend. That was great. That was fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
yeah, you
you?
missed it. You missed it. He sacrificed himself and everything. It's beautiful.
Oh, wait, to the
Yeah.
electrical field? Yes, I do remember him. Yes, he was a dapper fellow.
He was a
You
true
know,
gentleman.
yes. Well, I mean, it's not an easy game. I mean, it's gorgeous,
I'm having a good time
and
playing it for
it was
sure.
very true. Well, yeah, it's really, really true to form as far as capturing the visual and the audio and the flavor of that universe, of the Alien
Hmm.
movies. You know, just the soundtrack alone,
Oh, the music gets me,
it's
dude. And
perfect.
and his foot stomps. Oh my god. I hear the tiniest foot stomp and I'm like, oh my god, closet, here I come. It's ridiculous. I'm such a chicken shit.
Closet, bed, cabinet, yeah. Or even the details like the little drinking birds.
The little drinking birds.
Yeah, the drinking
Oh,
birds, the ones that go, they're like,
you know what? I don't even think I've noticed them. I have no idea. I've never noticed them. I've seen the
yeah,
little plushies.
in the original. Well, but in the original movie, there's like one or two drinky birds. They might have also had them in the other films too, from here and there. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
have
the
to
drinky
rewatch them. I
birds.
don't remember them.
It's sort of like, yeah, yeah,
Replay.
because like I guess they liked fidget toys, even in the you know distant
Bye,
future
Kimmy.
/ distant past,
Bye,
depends on how you look at
Vicky.
it. Bye, Vicky. Um, oh, Kimmy's got to go on. Good night, Kimmy. But I mean, they just did such a wonderful, wonderful job on that game. It's just unfortunately, it's not for the weak of heart, and it's not for the inept, and I'm kind of both.
I felt that in my
So,
soul. If it was real, I would never made it
yeah,
past the freaking intro.
it's hard. It's hard, but just you wait until you just wait until the fit hits the
Okay.
fan.
I thought we were there.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
shit.
no, you're not even
Oh goodness.
close. It gets way worse. Did you do the like the flight recorder thing
Uh,
yet?
don't think so. I haven't made it across the electrical field yet.
Okay, no, because there's a bit where you actually are playing as
No, I
another
haven't. I
player.
haven't done that yet.
That's going to be interesting for you. That
It
I
better not be
love.
Taylor. I better not have to play
Absolutely.
as Taylor. That bitch.
No, 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 no. You're okay. You know how you're looking for the flight recorder for the Nostromo, and like the data
Yeah.
was corrupted? Okay. You you're going to be playing as the guy that found that.
Okay. Oh shit. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. The drinking birds, aka the auto clicker birds, Panda.
I know which.
Auto
I
clicker?
know which ones he's talking about. I know which ones you're talking about.
Okay. See, now you get it. Oh wait, is that like an AFK thing where it like
Yeah.
hits the
Yeah. Yeah.
clicker? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like auto
Yeah.
clicker because I'm thinking like fishing on Minecraft. You need like something
Right.
AFK.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Who's he Wetskis? But yeah, you actually see what they see as they're going into the derelict ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, Matt just went bye. I guess he has to. I think he had to use the little
I have to feed
men's
the
room.
dog.
Oh,
Okay, that's fine. No worries. But no, seriously, it is by Tank. It's such a good game, and actually, I had a few suggestions for you. Um, I know, time is a thing. I totally get that, but if you would be open to the idea of doing pre-recorded videos, like maybe 1 or 2 during the week, aside from your live streams, I have got some suggestions for
Okay, well,
you.
when I get there,
First on the
I
list,
will definitely let you know.
well, the first on the list, though, that I think would be totally, totally awesome, very fitting, very relevant to the kinds of games that you play, the first Resident Evil.
I played that. Oh my God, it's been years. And I played that in reverse. The controls were reversed, inverted.
Oh, tank controls.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Tank controls
Mm-hmm.
suck. I hate tank controls. Now, what system did you play it on?
PS1.
Yes, I remember when it first came out in the late
Mm-hmm.
90s, and the graphics were
See, I
garbage, but
didn't
it was
play it.
still
It was
terrifying.
old when I first played it. Like it was like maybe the second or third edition of the PlayStation 1, where it's like the little white one. It wasn't the big black one.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh man, I'm so stiff.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I would totally recommend doing the like the remastered
Mm-hmm.
version of it. I mean, the graphics by today's standards, the graphics are garbage, but they are definitely they're good for what they are. For when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
they're good. And it's right up there,
It's
as far as
definitely
your
on my
wheelhouse
list.
of. Uh, you totally
There's
should.
one actually that I've been wanting to play after this one. It's kind of, I think I told you about it, and you had said it's been around a minute. I forget what it's called, but so the mother is trying to, get her kid situated because she was bitten.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know they've done a lot of games like that, but I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, it's a zombie
Hmm.
apocalypse, and she knows that she's on her
Yeah,
way out, and she's trying to make sure that the kid's going to be okay. No, I mean that sounds cool. Yeah, that definitely is also in your spectrum, your wheelhouse, however you want to put it. Um, have you ever played BioShock?
no, I've seen it. I've got it. I think I've got like, what is it? The first two.
Oh, Darth Mom says, yeah, if you want cute, Unravel.
Unravel.
Unravel's so
Hmm.
good. I loved that
I haven't.
game. Do you know of
I've
it?
not heard of it.
Oh, the graphics are so charming and endearing. You're this little guy made out of yarn, and as you travel, you're unraveling, you're unwinding. So you have to keep finding more yarn, and you can like fling your yarn to make like
Oh, that's
trampolines and
cute.
bridges and lassos and things.
That's super
Oh, it's
cute.
adorable. And the graphics are gorgeous. It's
Okay.
puzzly.
Hey,
Um,
Raven.
but
Uh, Raven, is that the one with you run around with the camera?
yep,
Is
fatal
that what
frame.
that is? Oh
Yep.
man, that one was so hard. That was so hard.
I never played it, but I know it's
I didn't
really
make it very
spooky.
far. I can attest. It was a very hard game for me to play. No, there's the dog.
That's a spooky one. But yeah, if you need something a bit lighter, Unravel is painfully adorable. It's really, really cute. Trying to think of what else might be good. I mean, well, as far as BioShock, it's got sort of like a 1920s vibe to it. And I mean, it's first person, um, and it's not horror, but it's definitely got a lot of like creep factor to it. And I love all the different sort of abilities that you can get in it. It's a lot of fun. And even though it's really not new by any means, I think it's held up very well over the
Cool.
years. Um, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be a nudge. I'm just trying to be
No,
supportive and
you're good.
encouraging.
You're
That's
good.
all. Because if I didn't think you had the stuff, I wouldn't bother.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. You're good peoples. I mean, everybody that
Hey,
is in
Bonnie.
my sphere, if you will. I just do what I do. Kingdom Hearts, I tried to
I've
get
never
into. I
played
just
it.
couldn't.
Never played Kingdom Hearts.
I tried. It's sort of like it's a Dino. It's Disney in name
Okay.
only. You know, it's got like the Disney characters, but seriously, it's really not Disney.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, I've seen some gameplay,
and Disney's.
and not a whole lot of it, but I've seen some.
Ooh, Gary's here.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, Gary, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Panda?
Welcome. Gary from Urban Yarn, welcome to the stream. So glad
Thank
you
you
could
for
join
inviting.
us. So how are you doing today?
Adulting is very difficult. I just spent a long time in the bank, but it's all done. So I'm happy to be here.
Well,
Good
good to have
Hey,
you.
Gary.
fun.
We were just talking the antithesis to adulting, which is video
Right.
games. You know, the
Welcome back,
complete
Matt.
antithesis to adulting. Do you play?
Yeah, I've done some video gaming back in the day when I had a PC, and lots of discs went in and out of like the drive, and I played them.
I mean, the cup holder.
Hey Matt, how are you doing?
How you doing, Gary?
Good. Yeah, I was really into the games that kind of were strategy based, like Riven and Myst, and
Oh, Myst was good.
Mist was good.
Yeah, kind of clicking and sort of waiting for the next picture to come up, and occasionally when they got more into the later 90s, I think it was a bit more of a, I don't know what they call it, but it's sort of like more free flow, like you can just move around the area and see things. Yeah.
Like an open world?
Right, yeah. So what's everyone working on?
I mean, I remember
Sorry.
when like no, that's okay. No, I
Gary's
was just
on
gonna say,
there.
do you remember the FMV games?
Hi, Gary.
No, I don't. Hi. How's it going? We've got
He said,
everyone
hi,
here
how's it
tonight.
going?
Great.
Work if you
He's going back to
Well, I
work.
would have had Russ, but Russ is working, unfortunately. So what can you do? No, the FMV ones where it's sort of like they took like a movie capture clip and they incorporated that
Yes.
into the game. I think Seventh Guest did that. I mean, for what they were when they came out, when it was new, it was like earth shattering, you know, and was like, and now you're just like, oh God, I liked that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So Gary,
Oh,
was that?
I do recall a video kind of enhanced game like that called Zork Nemesis, and I really enjoyed it.
Don't know that one.
You meet up with all the elemental, like fire, earth, water, wind, and you go into their worlds, and you have to try and figure out how to get out of their world. Like you,
That sounds kind of cool.
it's really
Yeah.
cool, and it cuts into the scenes that you're talking about with the video snippets to tell the story, which is pretty. It's classic 80s, late 80s, 90s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because there was one that was like really, really notorious at the time. It was called Night
Yeah.
Trap.
No,
You know that
I
one?
haven't played that one.
I mean, it got parents into such an uproar because the subject matter was, it was like PG-13/R, but it was a video game. So like parents were all freaked out and in an uproar. And there was a lot of that sort of like, you know, movie capture, like video card capture quality material sort of, you know, lumped in there. But yeah, those were the days. So, Gary, what are you working on, Mr. Man?
Well,
what are you working on right now?
I just ran into the room and I picked up what I thought I might be able to work on, but now that I'm thinking about like looking at the chat and trying to read messages, I might not be able to concentrate. It's this mosaic.
No, I understand, because I mean, I've been working on
Oh,
this for
that's
like the past 5 streams, and I'm
pretty.
still not done with it yet. That's gorgeous. Wait,
Oh,
I want to
that's
blow you up.
beautiful.
I want to blow you up. Here you go. Wait, hold that up.
Yeah, that's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Holy
That is so
wow.
pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's overlay mosaic, and I have just discovered it recently. I've done inset mosaic crochet, but not the overlay, and I found a designer called
stunning.
Fillet blankets, and that's predominantly what they the designer makes these types of blankets, and I'm loving it.
Well, I'm sorry, but I want more. I'm a greedy bitch. I want to see more. Hold that up, please. Hold that up. I want to see more.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
I
cool.
love
Wow.
those colors, man.
Between the colors and the intricacy, I mean, that looks like a Persian rug. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
And you're doing a
it's
beautiful
really-
job on it.
Thank you so much. I do.
You're welcome.
I do love working on the rows because it slowly shows and reveals what the pattern is happening underneath. I know I can see it in the chart that I'm reading, but just to see it play out in front of you in the flesh, it makes me want.
And how the colors interact with each other.
Yeah, it makes me want to keep going. So yeah, there's a couple of late nights there when I'm just sort of stitching away, and I look at the time and I'm thinking, well, I think I can hear a rooster crowing back there.
I totally get it. No, I mean, seriously, that is beautiful. I mean, I dabbled a little bit with the reversible interlocking fillet mesh crochet, and it's sort of like you see the pattern sort of unfolding and revealing itself as you go. I know what you're talking about. I mean, it's not the same, but the vibe is similar as far as like creating this really beautiful design. It's what you're doing is gorgeous. What's the yarn that you're using?
So it's a combination of a 4-weight and a 3-weight. So I'm kind of intertwining the two. The 4-weight one is the Premier. What is it called? The Anti-Peeling Everyday Gradient. I think it's called. It's got such a long name. It's the very shiny cake that you get from Premier, and it goes from a bright color in that, or a solid color, and then fades into the center, and it's more pastel. And I might have one here actually. Here it is. This one here.
Wait, hang on. There we go.
So
it's got like a metallic in it?
No, it's just it's acrylic based, and it's just shiny. It's very
No, because you said that you had one that was shiny.
very, very shiny.
So it's got like a sheen?
Yeah. It comes out like a almost like bamboo type yarn, where it's
Okay.
shinier, but it's not,
Like
not heavy.
Like Karen Simply Soft, that has a sheen to it.
Yes, yeah, like Karen Simply Soft. And I'm mixing it with
Because when you said shiny, I didn't know if you meant like a stellina or like a nylon, like a metallic thread in it or what. So like, because there's different sort of effects of shiny. So I didn't know if you meant like glitter shiny or
no, it's just
sheen like Karen Michael says.
yeah, it's just like a Karen Simply
No,
Soft. And I'm mixing it.
It's still absolutely gorgeous.
That's
three-weight,
beautiful.
The 3-weight is mandala, yeah, lime brown mandala.
Which colorway?
It's called Andromeda. No, not Andromeda. Here it is. It is called. No, that's not it. Andorian.
Okay. As in Ewok Planet?
I think so. Andorian, and then there's lots of like orange.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. The Ewok Planet, that was
I was
Endor, not
thinking that's more
Andor.
Star Trek-y alien thing.
Andorian has oranges and a magenta and purple.
Sounds
It
lovely.
does sound pretty.
You know, it's like, you know, the portrait of Andorian Grey.
Andorian Grey. Yeah. Up in the attic, you know, there's something withering away.
You know, like it's an unfinished shawl. It's just sort of like, "Ah, ah." For every stitch sin you commit, it gets more and more frogged.
Yeah. Until it's a tangled mess.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and step out. My back's starting to go.
Oh no.
Oh, are you hopping, or are you like
No,
leaving for the
I'm
night?
done. All
Look
right.
after
Okay. Well,
yourself.
listen. Thank you so much for
You guys
hopping
have
in,
a good
though.
night. It was nice seeing you, Gary and Matt.
When you
You
found out.
too.
It was nice to see you,
Good night,
Panda.
everybody.
Good night. Look after
Get some
Get some
yourself.
tiger
good
I'm gonna
rest.
try. Good
See you tomorrow
night.
night. Mwah. See you later.
Oh, I hear Rebecca in
And
Yeah,
then there were three.
Rebecca's in the back. She's relaxing.
Hi, Rebecca.
How you doing?
You know, Rebecca, you know you're always welcome
Thank
on
you
here,
so
you know.
much. I'm listening.
Well,
It's
you
so good
are.
to-
You know, you're okay. Rebecca, you're not one of the guys, but you are welcome
I
to the
know
crew.
that.
You know, you can be our honorary female. You know, or sorry, no, the token. You can be the token female.
So, Craig, you were holding
Um,
something up there. What was it that you were holding up that you're working on?
well, do you mean this?
Oh, yes.
That was
Yes.
pretty.
Because well, the other week it was a tutorial on how to do the fillet chevron, but like back and forth in rows to make like a blanket. But this is for a shawl worked from the bottom up.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you. So this will be tomorrow's tutorial. But oh, Russ. Hello everyone. Russ is still at work, but Russ loves you. Hi, Russ.
Nervous?
The other thing, this is a blanket that I've been working on for like the past like half a dozen streams. I haven't made much progress for the same reason that you said, because it's like you want to pay attention to the chat, you want to pay attention to what everybody's saying. But no, this is just a regular granny square blanket that I've been working on. This is mandala also. It's the bonus bundle, and I want to say it might be Wookiee. I can't remember. But it's like a very subtle color change of, very nice earthy, smoky tones.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to get much done on it because, it is how it is.
Absolutely.
But we do what we do. But I mean, I always like to have something on hand just in case. And then I'm working on the fillet pattern that I had mentioned to you. I literally just got my yarn in today for that, so I'm starting in on my prototype, and then I'll be able to start working on the pattern. And then, you know how it is.
Yep. Next steps.
You
Next
know.
steps. Yep.
Yeah, I mean the graphing for it is all done. That's not a problem whatsoever. It's just a matter of doing the doing. And since my work for tomorrow is all done, I can focus on that tonight. And then I want to get the pattern written and ready to go within a week or two.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zelly. Yes, it'll be up tomorrow afternoon. And I tried to do like the full repeat and everything like that and crunch it all into 1 hour so I could just have it as a one-part tutorial as opposed to like breaking it up. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I do a tutorial that has multiple parts, the first part always gets the most views, but the more parts there are, the fewer views I get as the further you go on. Because like if it's like a 4-part, say for instance, if it's like a 4-part video, like the first one will have like 4,000 views, the second one will have 3, then the next one will have like 2, and then the last video will only have like like a fourth of that kind of thing. It's just one of those things. Hi, Becca in the chat. You could say hi as well in person. You silly.
She's
But
responding
yeah,
to
it's just one
everyone
of
else
those.
in there.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I try to keep it to one video if I can. But the project that I'm working on that I'm going to be sending you guys the pattern for, that one is going to be multiple parts.
Okay.
You know, because it's like a 30 row repeat.
Oh,
Okay. Wow. I'm excited to get that. Now, you said fillet, but sometimes you've done fillet knitting and sometimes fillet crochet. Which one is it?
This is crochet.
Crochet. Okay.
Yeah, this is crochet, so it'll work up a lot faster than if it were knitting. And also, of course, if you make a mistake, it's a lot more forgiving. Like, oh, I could just, you know, like I don't have to like unthread my needle from all those stitches
Yeah.
and curse the day I was ever born kind of thing. You know, it's a lot easier and it works up so much faster. But I mean, technically, yes, you could do the same thing with just eyelets and knit two togethers, but I wanted to, you know, do something that was a little bit easier. Also, I mean, as much as I love doing both knitting as well as crocheting, I would say that demographically, the vast majority of my viewers prefer crocheting over knitting. I like to do both. So I like to do some knitting upon occasion as well, but the majority of it is invariably crocheting.
Right. Yeah. Got you.
yes.
You know, I mean, there was, what's that, Matt?
I say since I started crocheting, the knitting has kind of eased the way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tammy. You know, well, the thing is, I try to keep a lot of different things going simultaneously, which is really difficult because not just the knitting, not just the crocheting, but also I've still been working on my forever quilt, which it's taking forever. Hey, Leslie, because I'm doing it all by hand. So it's taken a while.
Is that's the one with
It
the little
really is.
the little pieces, right?
The hexies. Yeah, well, because I start off with these little cardstock hexagons, and then I based fabric around them to create these little guys. So the fabric is basted on the reverse side, and then I take those and then I sew them together
Wow.
all by hand. So, I mean, you can see the stitching. It's really itty bitty, teeny tiny. And so, I mean, this right here is just 10 of these little hexies sewn together. And I've got, I want to say easily 1,000 of them already sewn together in larger pieces. And so, and I've been working on this for years. Okay. Because the fabric that I'm using to cover my pieces, this is, I believe, 2.5 inches square. So I've got like tons of these little squares of fabric that I use. And so, yeah, the whole thing is being done by hand. And then, you know, after all of my pieces are done, then I have to like quilt through, hey, Jax. You know, I have to quilt through the 3 layers, the top pieced layer, the batting, and then the backing. And I have to do that, which I want to do by hand as well. So it'll be something that they can wrap me up in and then bury me with. It'll be my death shroud.
So
My mom, she did one.
the end result of that quilt that you're doing, are you going to be hanging it up on the wall or?
Oh no, I'm using it.
You're using it, so it does have a bit of flow to it. It looks so like rigid when you hold it up, but there is some sort of movement.
Well, the reason why it's very rigid right now is because all of those hexies that are on the outside edge, they still have the cardboard in them.
Oh, I see.
Because that gives them their shape. Now, the thing is, when you have a hex that is surrounded by other hexes, you can take that one in the middle out.
Yeah.
But the outside ones, they frame it and they help keep its shape until it's ready to be sewn to another piece. And then when that piece is sewn to another piece, the ones that are completely surrounded, you can take the basting threads out and the cardboard out of those. So you have to keep going. And then when your piece is as big as you want it to be, then you would then take out all of the border ones and then cut straight edges, and then, do the sandwiching and so forth.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. It's like
It's not
like
going to be a
they're
queen
putting-
size, but
Yeah, it's like they're blocking each other, sitting next to each other with cardboard, and then
exactly.
and then once they have the frame pulling on all the sides, it's okay to safely take out the cardboard. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, right now it looks like it has way too much fabric stiffener in there, but no, it's just the cardboard still in there.
Gotcha.
And so my mom, she did one that is a queen size. Hers is much more organized, where there's like a little yellow hex in the center, and then surrounding that are all the same colors, and it looks like flowers. And it's called Grandmother's Garden. And so, she did one completely by hand, and the quilting through the 3 layers, the top, the batting, and the backing, she went around the circumference of every hex by hand, quilting the 3 layers together. And, she did a beautiful job. And mine, it's definitely more hodgy-podgy, Pippi Longstocking, Punky Brewster style. It's anything goes. And it's very busy, but it has such a cozy quality to it. And I'm loving it because it's one of those things where you can pick it up, put it down. It's not like the fabric expires, I mean, you could work on it indefinitely. It's fun, but I mean, I like to work on that. And I've also been, I've been journaling again. I haven't done that since I was like in my teens and 20s. I'm dating myself here. But I used to do a lot of journal writing, and so I started doing that up again. And I have a new yen and passion for working with fountain pens.
Doing the calligraphy as well, like the fancy kind of like, oh, I hear a note being played.
Matt, what are you doing?
I was reaching for something and I hit the mouse.
Okay. No, not the calligraphy so much, just writing with a fountain pen. Okay. And so I've got a couple of they're not high-end fountain pens, but they are a lot of fun to work with. And so, I mean, the first one that I got, I don't know if I showed these before. This one is called an Asvine, ASVINE. And so this is an extra fine tip on this one. And the flow is really nice. And it has what's called a converter, so you can suck up ink from an ink bottle. And I've only had to refill this one once since I got it. It has a good amount of ink flow in it. And then I got hooked on another brand. They're called Lamy, Lamy, and they are specifically the Lamy Safari brand. This one I have in yellow. I've got another one in black. And what's neat about this is that the top here, it's contoured and shaped so that when you're writing, it gets you to hold it in the right place because of the shape of it.
Yeah.
And this one also has a converter in it, and they're a lot of fun, and they're not scratchy. You don't get that like little mouse scratching sound when you're writing. That's more for the dip pens.
Yeah.
The ones they actually have to dip the quill nib into the ink, and those are scratchy. Hello, Susan K. And then I also went the extra mile, and I decided to get some dip pens. But then this one here, this one really struck my fancy because this one is glass.
Wow.
Now, most of the time when you get a glass dip pen, the whole thing is glass, and it looks like a crystal Harry Potter wand. But this one really caught my fancy.
That's cool.
Where does the ink come out? That doesn't look like it has ink. You need to dip that one, right?
Well, yeah, you dip this into the ink, and the thing is that along this are all these little ridges. And so when you dip it into the ink goes into those little ridges. And then as you are writing, through capillary action, the ink gets drawn out through those little ridges and then, goes onto the paper. And so I've been fiddling around with this as well. I liked the idea that it was with a wooden handle with a wooden cap to keep it relatively protected because,
Shattered.
they are very fragile.
Yeah.
And I could be a little more gentle with things in general. But I've been really enjoying fiddling around with getting back into writing again, and on top of that, also drawing more too. I am by no means a visual artist, but it's something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, I think that's the key factor there that you hit the nail on the head, is that you got to do something that you enjoy, right? And if you're learning something along the way as well, that's great.
I mean, like from the 11th of this month, I started. I think I showed this the last time I was on. I've been fiddling around with just drawing, just with like a ballpoint pen.
Oh, look at the bunny!
Little abstract work, and so forth. This actually was done with a fountain pen. This one, but most of it was done with a ballpoint, and then I dabbled a little bit into doing more self-portrait work because, I mean, what's easier than just taking a photo of yourself? So I was like, I was having a rough night, so I did this one.
Oh, that looks like it was a rough night. Either you're yawning
It was a rough evening. And then I did another one. Well, that one was done, I think that was, I'm pretty sure that one was done with a fountain pen. And then this next one was done with a ballpoint. But I don't even think I look like myself because I wasn't wearing my glasses when I took the photo. I look really pissed off. And then I have the softer side of Sears. Again, this was with a ballpoint. And so this one, I'm a little bit happier, a little less scary.
A pen or
they look great.
Yeah, those are really good.
Thank you. So I was just doing like a scribble technique where you're not trying to go for dead-on accuracy, but more impressionistic, and trying to get the shading in more. But it's fun.
Yeah, keep it up. That's great.
Thank you.
And it looks like you have a whole series of pages yet to fill in that booklet that you're holding. So.
Well, I've got a lot more to go.
Yeah.
I only just started. But no, I try to do, a little bit of drawing, like a couple times a week, get fresh again. Cause I used to do a lot of drawing, back in the day. And then I got into fiber arts and I just sort of let that go, but I really like doing it. So, I mean, even if I suck at it, I want to keep doing it. And Matt, I mean, you've been doing some beautiful stuff with your coloring.
I've also been scribbling too.
Oh, let's.
Oh, wait! I want to blow this up.
That's great.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. There you go.
And
very nice.
What's
the medium
there too?
Yeah, it's a little charcoal scribble I did last weekend.
I like.
Very good.
I did a little bit with charcoal, but the pens I've been enjoying so much.
What?
Awesome.
And then as far as
your coloring is gorgeous. Oh, you got the big guns.
Yes, indeed I did.
Oh, I like that one.
I bet that set you back a pretty penny.
But
yeah, but they're worth it. The Prismacolors are awesome.
I tried Derwent, which I still like. Castle and these.
Yeah,
and
that one. That's you. That's your personal, your own.
And the Prisma ones are I get the shades and stuff that I'm looking for. So from, let's see, what have I done lately? I was working on this the other night.
Thank you, Panda. That is cool.
That looks great. Is it a forest with
With swords hanging in the.
Wait, let me blow it up.
It's great. Very intricate.
Let me blow it up. Get up there to the camera. That is cool. That is so much detail. That would drive me crazy, but I love it.
And then, which other ones were I working on?
Ooh, is that the Kraken?
That's the cracking.
Release the Kraken. Captain, I don't have the power.
That's really cool.
What else have I been working on?
Hi, Dawn. Yeah, the last set that I had gotten from Prismacolor, it was like the 3-tier metal tin one that had like way too many pencils in there, and I absolutely loved it. But I haven't done any coloring in years. Right now, I'm just working on black and white. The best way that I found is like I'll take a photo of myself, and then I'll change it to black and white, and I'll up the contrast. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
That is really pretty. That one has lots of movement in it.
Looks like a
Yeah,
Nubis.
that's what I'm thinking. It's kind of supposed to be.
Well, I mean, it's like a mythology theme, right? So then that would probably be Anubis. Well, he was the wasn't he like the god of the underworld in
Yes.
Egyptian mythology, or like the
And then of
gatekeeper?
course this one.
That is stunning.
I like that one. Yes.
That is
That's
really stunning.
cool.
And then the recent one that I got this book, and it was just it's definitely me.
Mhm.
Aliens of the
Alien
World.
Worlds.
Oh, Alien World.
Yeah, we have to look backwards.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm like I'm good, but I'm not that good. As long as there are no probes. That is cool.
That is cool.
Is there anything Geiger-esque in there?
No. We actually,
Oh, that's a shame because
we were
Geiger
talking
is
about.
Geiger's the master.
Well, I like
Love Geiger.
Frazetta and Boris better than I do Geiger. So
Oh, I love Geiger. Now, would it be Geiger or Giger? I mean, that the headpiece on that almost looks Geiger-esque.
kind of.
If he was into mandala art, but I love it. Almost makes me think of like a lotus mantis.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what between the crocheting and the the coloring, and then I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing a little drawing. That was actually inspired by
That's
Gary,
great.
because Gary showed us that picture and we were talking
That's
about it, and we started
He's the one that
it
instilled
kind of inspired the whole drawing
him and Jill.
thing.
Yeah.
What was the picture?
It was of a painting that I did in 1994. It's the only one that I brought with me from Australia to Canada, and it's hanging up on the wall. It's of a Grecian head in a box, like a statue, and it's on a pier. So I guess I was like all about like looking at the classics in the time that I was painting that. Yeah. But I'm glad that
What was the medium?
The medium is
I can
oil
send you the
painting.
link.
That's hard.
Yeah, I liked it because I move pretty slow when I'm doing my crafting, so I find acrylic dries too quick for me. So I'm like loving the fact that, you know, with oils you can move it around a little bit longer to get your blends.
Yeah, I never got into oils. My favorite was watercolor.
Yeah,
You know, because I love the different things that you could do with the layering. And if you need to like reactivate the pigment on the paper, you kind of could to an extent. Acrylics I found were the hardest though, because yeah, the drying time, it was like, it's dry.
exactly.
It's like, you know, and then you really can't blend it because it's already dry. So you almost have to do like a paint by number, because you can't really blend it when it's dry.
Exactly.
So yeah, I loved working with watercolor. I was thinking about maybe getting into gouache. One of my coworkers, she's like, you should try gouache. You would really like it. Not like an acrylic gouache, but a like a water-based you know, gouache. You know, and yeah, it's tempting. It's just I've got so many things going on.
So many. Yeah.
Well, when you're not stitching, what do you like to do?
Well, in this area that I live in, it's kind of a new area that I moved to, and there are little communities around here that I really love going to visit. And now the weather is getting better, farmers markets. I always love hiking, and we have a dog, so there's lots of walking involved. So getting out there and taking Pixel for walks. So all of those things. Chad, my husband, he's always trying to persuade me to do a little bit more physical stuff, like bike riding or
Bungee cord jumping, skydiving.
and I'm like, I'm not really built for that stuff, but I do like the walking, I like the hiking, and recently he started playing golf, like I guess going on the course and playing golf. And I have gone with him a few times down to the course and hit a few balls, but they go everywhere. Sometimes I actually hit the ground so hard that my arms are like still vibrating.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess a little bit of the community getting out there doing stuff interests me. I love movies, and yeah, I love music. Like Rebecca and Matt are music lovers as well, and I also love listening to all types of music. And I think that's about it. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
How about you?
Well, I don't exercise at all. I remember somebody asked me once if, you know, oh, do you run? And I'm like, when I'm chased, you know, like I don't run. You know, I don't.
You're like,
You know, I don't jog. I don't run. You know, I've mastered the art of being sedentary. You know, my exercise, you know, knit one, purl two, knit one, purl two, yarn over, do it, girls. You know, like, no, I do not exercise. You know, I do enough in other regards. Actually, no, there was a time when I did go for jogs. There was, I don't know if it's still available. There was the best app. Oh, Beck is here. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
We're getting some feedback.
That's me. I got it.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. We kind of.
So there was the best app.
Yeah,
We can hear you. You're still getting an echo though.
We got it.
We got it.
I think we got it. I think we're good.
that's it.
There was an
You
app.
gotta
It was
turn on the
called.
volume, babe.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, so I can hear them.
There was
can
an
you hear
app.
us?
It was called. Yes.
Hi, you guys. Go ahead and
I'll
come
try it
on
again.
and say hello to you guys.
Hi. It was a really cool app. It was called Zombies Run. And so as you're exercising, it would
Turn off
keep
your
track
phone,
of
babe.
you. It would keep track of you based on your
Something's going bananas.
like your GPS. And as you're exercising, as you're running, there would be like a warning saying,
you on-
warning,
you-
zombies
are you on YouTube
approaching,
on the-
200
on your
meters.
screen?
And then you could hear them snarling in the background. And as they would get closer, if you didn't speed up, they would get louder and they would get closer. So it was all in your head. And you could like hear them, hey, Robin Bird, you could hear the zombies. And they're like, you must grow faster if you want to avoid getting eaten. And then you would outrun them and then you could slow down a bit. And then they're like, warning, they're approaching. And so as you're out and about on your run, you would, just by proxy, you would collect resources. And then when you got back home, your collected resources would go towards your score for the day. And it was a lot of fun. Now, the thing is that I live in a retirement community. And so, and I would go on these jogs at night. So there I am at night in a retirement community going on these jogs with an audio of zombies chasing me. Now, it's a retirement community. There's a lot of people that shuffle around. And it's dark out. So, like, you see these silhouettes of people, sort of shuffling around as you hear zombie noises. I'm like, this is too immersive, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way too immersive. So,
I think that makes you run.
oh
better,
yeah,
right?
definitely. So, Rebecca, what are you working on, honey bunny?
Okay. I'm working on this blanket. We're doing the projects for the Happy Hats, which is for the veterans. And we're doing hats, lap blankets, and they're for the families also, the veterans and families. And so Jeanette Egan is the one who's collecting for them. This one is, give me a second. It is called.
Yeah, that's what this is going to once I actually get it finished. And also the Fillet chevron that I was working on the other week, that one also, it's the right width. So when I get it to be the right height, that one's also going to get donated.
This one is the offset V-stitch.
What's the colorway?
Oh, that's beautiful.
And the colorway is Yarn Bee, color by numbers.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got a nice subtlety to it.
And you got way too many lights here, babe.
So I'm doing it so you can.
You got way too many lights. I can't even see. There you go. I don't know. Our lighting is not, and I don't know if you can see. It's got like lime green and kind of a different kind of green, and then your pale or kind of an yellow, and then a peach and gray. So the
gray is a perfect
really
touch for it.
nice.
Yeah.
And come to find out that Jeremy was doing that particular one also, but in a different pattern. Yeah. And he showed it to us yesterday. It was amazing. He did a blanket also. Let me put it a little
Very
bit.
awesome. It's hard for me to focus on one particular project, but like I've got the granny and I've got the chevron fillet. So I'm working on stuff for the donation for that. It's just time and the lack thereof.
Yeah. So and that's why I pretty much don't have many shows to show because I'm vibrating. Because they're gone. By the time I make them, they're gone for donation. And,
Tammy wants to know, Gary, how long have you been crocheting for?
I started when I was like.
I was asking Gary.
Oh, Gary.
That's
go
okay.
ahead.
That's okay. Well, I mean, everybody can answer the question. Gary, you were asked, so you go first.
Go ahead, Gary.
Okay,
You're our guest.
I'll take it first. Yeah, 6 years I've been crocheting for.
Rebecca, how about you?
I started when I was 13. I put it down, and then my mom was showing me because she used to crochet for all our brothers and sisters and grandkids. And then during COVID, right before COVID, I picked it up again. Mhm.
Perfect time for it.
Mhm.
Mr. Matt?
I'm the new kid on the block.
That's
I've
okay, you're
been
still here.
crocheting for what? A year and a half?
Mhm.
A year and a couple of months?
But you're in good company.
But-
You're here now.
But
Hey, you know,
but he
Yeah.
crocheted. He knitted before he crocheted.
but I needed
Well,
for 5-6 years.
there you go. Fiber arts, whatever flavor it is, it's still fiber arts.
Mhm.
I mean, I started with crocheting, oh God, I was so used to saying 20 years. Actually, now it's more like 25 years.
Mm.
About 25-ish years ago, I started crocheting. And then within a few years of that, I started with the knitting. Because I wanted to expand my repertoire. So, I mean, knitting took me, I would say, a while longer to get the hang of because of the tension on the needle, because I had such a remarkable death grip of the yarn wrapped around the needle. Everything would squeak. And it took me a while to understand gauge and tension, especially with the knitting. But eventually I got there. So yeah, about like 25-ish years, roughly. But I mean, Gary, since it's only like about 6-ish years, wow.
Yeah, I think I went a little overboard with how many hours in a day that I would actually practice. And I also
Spoken like a true
had a lot
addict.
of time. I am a true addict for sure. And wherever I am, I always have a project with me. So it's kind of, I think I probably am like the person that people see in the community where they're like, oh, there goes that knitter, or there goes that crocheter.
No, I get it.
So yeah, I always have stuff with me.
I totally get it. I mean, I work on something every day, like maybe something knitted or something crocheted or something sewn. But yeah, it's that nervous energy. It's like what I lack in medication and therapy, I make up for with fiber arts.
Yeah, that's what it's there for.
Yeah. Well, so Matt, you were saying that you started with knitting. That's gorgeous. I love the colors on that.
Beautiful.
So for about 5-6 years or so with knitting, and then you went into crocheting.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely knitted though.
This is a shawl I was starting on.
Are you still working on it?
Yeah, I just set it aside.
That's a beautiful yarn. What is it?
Malabriga.
We should have known. We should have known. But yeah, that is gorgeous. Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, that looks like, for the most part, it looks like a solid garter stitch, right?
It is until it gets to and then it's just a regular knit stitch, and then it changes.
Because that's what I was talking about before. It's like if you've got a simple stitch, you can use a really complicated colorway,
Yeah, so I
I mean,
that's simple.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. If you have a simple stitch, you can let the colorway of the yarn really stand out and highlight it. You can let the colorway be the highlight, or you can let the stitch be the highlight. It's like when both are vying for attention, you really can't hear much. But absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and then I've done a couple shawls for like cousins and stuff, for Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got frustrated because
What happened?
Rebecca would tear through these projects. Like she would be, I would be like that much on the project, and she'd be like putting the last stitches into hers, and I'm like, no, this is not a good time.
Well, seriously though, you can never compare your work to somebody else's work as far as the speed that you go at, especially because that's no reflection on the stitcher. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not, but it was just just frustration at the knitting not going a little faster than
Well, it never does
it
though.
actually does take. No, it takes a lot
It always
longer.
takes more time. I mean, that's why when I'm doing my current Fillet project, that's why I'm like, I am going to do this as crochet. Otherwise, it'll take me 10 times as long. It'll look gorgeous, but it'll take so much longer to do. So, I mean, that's why, like, if you're doing like a really extra special piece, if you can, go with knitting because it'll look more refined and you can get a solid fabric that still has an incredible drape to it. If you're going for a solid fabric, if it's crocheted, then it's going to be a lot stiffer by its very nature. I mean, that's why the majority of socks and mitten type patterns, they're done in knitting, because even though it's a very closed fabric, it's still very, very flexible when it's knit. All right, let me blow you up. That's lovely.
That is nice. And Matt, if you want to knit faster, maybe Craig can give you that app about being chased by zombies.
What did he say?
I mean, I'm knitting. I'm self-taught. So I think my form, if I change some of the way my form, I would probably might get a little faster.
Well, also they say that if you, because there's the two different ways of holding the yarn. There's, holding it in your right hand or holding it in your left. I hold it in my right, and so by conventional standards, I'm just going to be slower by proxy because I'm there's flickers and pickers, as they call them. I guess I'm a flicker because I'm always like picking up and putting down the yarn, whereas the other ones, it's like they can go much, much faster if the yarn is in the left hand, but I can never quite seem to get the tension right.
Continental I can't do. I'm a thrower. I tried to do continental, and I just got it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pick it up.
Even when Fair Isle knitting, I'll hold both yarns in my my right hand, and I'll drop one, pick up the other one, drop the other one, pick up the other one, as opposed to trying to do one yarn in the left hand, one yarn in the right hand, which I can do, but I don't prefer it. It's just it feels unnatural to me. Even if it takes longer, I'm better, with just doing what feels right, and that's why, like, when it comes to the quote unquote proper way to to hold your hook or to hold your knitting needles, I would say as long as you get to your desired destination, what difference does it make?
I agree.
And then
I mean, as long as it looks like you want it to look, who cares how you got there?
And there's a pattern on the red heart. I think it's red heart.
All right, I'm gonna blow you up again. That is pretty. That's knitted?
Yeah.
That's very pretty.
Matt, is that yours, or are you looking at Unravel?
No, this was a pattern. It was actually Marley Bird showed it, and on the whatever her sponsor was at the time, it actually has the picture of the shawl on the yarn, and I want to say it's like Red Heart or it's either Red Heart or it's Karen, like Karen Ombre,
Yeah.
and it
Mhm.
has the picture of that shawl.
So her shawl
And
was on the yarn. Wow.
mhm. And then
That's when you know you've made it.
yeah, exactly. And so I knitted it. It was fun.
So,
It looks like a lot of
well,
fun.
it's one of those where you do X number of rows, and then you do like a yarn over, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together, all the way across, and then you do a bunch of more of like either garter or stockinette. Is that like the kind of
Yeah.
thing, or okay?
Yeah.
I mean, those are great because you can go, so much on autopilot, and then every now and then it's like, okay, I did X number of rows. All right, let's do another eyelet row. Those are great.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where I started from, and then went to the crocheting. So I had a little bit of a foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny because I mean, some people they start with knitting and then they go into crocheting, or they start with crocheting and going to knitting. I started with the crocheting because it just seemed like it was going to be a little less intimidating and a little bit more approachable. And then when I wanted to challenge myself more, that's when I went into the knitting, and I'm so glad that I did. But I mean, both were definitely a learning process. Getting used to the tension, the gauge,
Mhm.
et cetera, et cetera. Because, like, I remember when I first started, I followed the instructions on the yarn wrappers as to what size hook or needle I was supposed to use. Oh, no. My tension is way tighter than the average wrapper. I mean, I had to bump up my hook size a lot over time. And it made all the difference in the world. That's why it's a recommended hook or needle size. You got to do what's right based on your personal gauge, your personal tension.
Mhm.
Find what works best for you.
Yeah, because I know I knit tight, but when I crochet a little looser.
Mhm.
So I have to adjust for like when I'm doing either one.
Yeah. This is one of mine
Yeah.
here.
Oh, it's lovely. That is really
Oh, that's
lovely. All right,
beautiful.
hang on. I got to blow you up. That is
And
gorgeous.
what is this? This is the yarn.
Oh, it was Juniper Moon.
Juniper Moon, yeah. Juniper Moon.
Is that knitted,
This is one of my
crocheted?
favorite yarn.
That
It's
looks
It's
just
crochet.
yeah. Double.
it's just so soft.
Yeah. I like the way it pulls. It gives like some patterning to it that's
That,
random.
and it has an incredible drape.
Hmm. And I love the colors that it gives. Mhm. And it's the
Absolutely gorgeous.
softest yarn. It is the softest yarn. And I tend to do blankets like that, or shoulder blankets like that. I'll show you a few of the blankets that I've done and given away.
It makes me think of like a sidewalk chalk kind of drawing,
Mm-hmm.
because you got the grays and you got the pinks and the blues. That's what it makes. It's sort of like a sidewalk chalk drawing. After it's been on the sidewalk for like maybe 2 days after like a slight drizzle, and I love it. It has a very natural kind of look
Mhm.
about it. I love it.
Here's another blanket that I did in the blues.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh,
Center.
center.
Really pretty. That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Like
It looks like a perfect
And then
silhouette.
breaking ocean waves.
I'm going to show you another one. This I did in the green. So I did, oh, oops.
That's okay.
Mhm. And all of those went as a donation. Okay. That one was the green one. Oops.
That's
I think it's
beautiful.
Debbie. I think it's crocheted.
It's all
Yeah,
crochet.
it's all crochet.
It's
Yeah.
all crochet. And I take my time, and and then here's one that's nice and bright. Um, this one.
Oh wow. Very festive. That's a red heart. I see that.
Yep.
What's the colorway? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's red heart.
No, what colorway?
Oh, that's the granny squares, right?
Yeah, the granny squares, and it really came out really nice.
It's funny though that of all the people that I've talked to that have used the granny square yarn, they never actually tried to use it for making granny squares,
You
which I
should
think is
try it
great.
for regular. Look how pretty comes stripes.
No, I think it's
stripes
awesome that people
really
are not
nice.
using it for the granny squares and that they're going to the beat of their own drummer. I think it's fabulous
Yeah,
that
it
they're not
really
being
comes
restricted
out
by what they
nice.
say.
It came out really
It's a
beautiful.
revolution.
They loved it.
Well, I mean,
Absolutely. Well, I live
See,
in a
that's
senior community, and a lot of the ladies, they're older ladies, so they like the blankets for their lap or over the shoulders, and they absolutely loved it.
well, that's sort of the funny thing about us, Gary, is that like, yeah, we like sort of like our orderedness of our stitches, but also a lot of us are natural born rebels. And we rebel
I
through
am.
our stitching, you know.
I
It's like,
am.
you know, we're little, you know, stitching anarchists, you know, at heart. We like to break those rules. We like to do our own things, and we like to, you know, think outside of the box. I mean, that's why I was saying march to the beat of your own bongos.
And one
Has
of the
anyone
projects that Rebecca did, that it's one of my favorites.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that took me a long time.
wow.
He's not showing you the whole blanket, but it was a huge blanket, and it took every stitch was a different color. I mean, every line was a different color, and it was a particular blank yarn.
It was supposed to be like the striped Mexican blanket.
Mhm.
Yep. I saw that.
Mhm.
So it's really pretty.
Yeah, that was. I do want to do that again because I want to, but it does take a long time.
Well, unless if
I
you
want to make one for my older son.
unless if you use the like when you're changing the colors of the yarn, if you use that as like a natural fringe, you know, if you use that to your advantage.
I didn't with that one. I sewed it in,
Oh, you
but
poor
it took
thing.
forever. It took forever.
Oh, see
But
that's
I
easier.
did it, and then I put a
That's
black.
either an exercise of love or masochism.
Uh, I did all different kinds of yarns that were fours, and I tried to match the best I could because the colors that I was looking for. I don't want to. Let me put it down a little bit. The colors that I was looking for had to be a particular color to be very particular for that blanket. So if I found that color in a particular yarn, I had to use it.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome.
Some people put it in an envelope as well. Like they'll do a border that sort of encapsulates all the loose ends too, so they don't have to worry about weaving
Yes.
in.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it saves a bit of time.
I put a black border. Around it. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's also done with the interlocking mesh as well sometimes. You could have that like last round as sort of like a border if you need to hide ends, but I do know what you're talking about, Gary. I haven't really done it myself, but I do believe I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you do it, Gary?
I haven't done the cut each row off and leave a tail before in my crochet, but I have watched a couple of people on their channels doing like blankets and whatnot, and doing the envelope border.
Yes.
The envelope border hides
Mosaic
it all, and
edge.
it kind of like finishes it off.
Yeah, it's called the mosaic edge envelope. FB Rolled says.
Yeah.
I love the blanket you're working on.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Thank you.
Well, wait. I have to ask, are you actually working on that right now?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I pull back. I've pulled back about at least 5 times, but
you're a trooper.
It's fine.
You're a trooper. I give you credit because I can't even work on a simple granny square blanket right now. I mean, I'm, my attention span is already like at its limit. Like,
I had a question. Have any of you done crochet and knitting projects together in the one project?
Yes.
You have. What did you make?
This was a while ago, and I was so proud of it because I felt like, oh, I just did something. It's like that. I think it was like a Huggies commercial. It's like, oh, mommy, wow, I'm a big kid now. I think it was like for like pull-ups or something. But no, it was my own variation of a knit pie shawl. Because I mean, I love to knit, but I hate knitting with DPNs with a passion. I absolutely loathe double pointed needles. And so to do a pie shawl, which is a circle that's starting at the very, very center with a very small circumference, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I did what I called the pie-brid, because it was a hybrid of crocheting and knitting. So what I did was, for that small circumference of the knitting, no, I did it as crocheting. So I did a crocheted circle, which was big enough where I could then go in and pick up stitches all the way around with circular knitting needles. And so I had the foundation of that initial circle as crocheted, which is really easy to do. Then I picked up all those stitches with my knitting needle and then continued on with the rest of the project as a pie shawl in knitting. So I called it the pie-brid. I absolutely loved the concept, and that I did a while ago. And I don't think I've ever done any other hybrids, but I think that was like the one. But I was really, really happy with that because I'm like, why should knitters have all the fun? And why should they dictate? And so I'm like, there's got to be an easier way of doing this, and that's what I came up with. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, I have. I like the I did a piece where I was playing with different stitches for a cow, and I called it the Frankenstein because it was like a bit of both.
Love it.
And it kind of did do a little warping edge because of the nature of the stitches not matching up correctly. But I still enjoyed doing it because I thought about the finishing of garments. I really like the knitted style of like a ribbing or a certain collar, but I do like the fact that you can make wearables like with crochet, but I just like the finish of the knit more than the crochet edge. So I have been thinking about doing some more garments wearables, but finishing the crochet pieces off with knitting. And I've seen a lot of patterns out there that do that. Other designers who are saying the same thing about like button bands being really nice finishes in knitting. but the panels themselves being crocheted. So that kind of fascinates me.
I've got one. All right. Well, you called the other one a Frankenstein. I've got another one for you. All right. I give you permission, you know, to use this. Well, you had Frankenstein. Well, and if you want to incorporate the two together, the first thing that popped into my head was Jekyll and Hyde, but you could call it but you could call it Hyde the Jekyll.
Yeah.
You know,
I can
it's
use
just
that.
my
Yeah,
brain
maybe
working in weird little ways. But yeah, like the Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. You know, but what I'm thinking is like the act of HIDING, you know, hiding, is you could like hide the Jekyll, you know. But the thing is that it was Jekyll was the good one, Hyde was the bad one. So if you're hiding the Jekyll, you're hiding the good one then. I don't know. My brain is my brain is fried. my brain has left the building. But then again, we've been on now for let's see, it's 2:25. So yeah, about 2.5 hours. My goodness.
Wow.
It's gone by fast.
It has.
But it's been an absolute blast. So I think we're going to wrap it up. But listen, everybody, I want to thank all of my fabulous panel members for joining us today. Panda and Michael and Gary and Matt and Becca and everybody in the chat. You know, always a pleasure. And you guys are always welcome. And, you know, want to thank you ever so much for, you know, joining me today and helping me with the chat and everything. And, you know, everybody in chat, you guys know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay safe, take care of yourselves and each other, stay caffeinated and all that good stuff. You guys have a fabulous day. And please, everybody, check out everybody's channel. You've got Matt the Rockin' Crocheter and Fiber Jazz Rebecca and Urban Yarn and PandaMoniumExpress and MDL Crochet. Check everybody out. Love you guys. And I will see all of you in the next video.
Woohoo.
Thanks,
Thank
Greg.
you.
Thanks for hosting.
Thank you.